The real difference between religion and Judaism, the bottom line, put aside all the philosophy and the fancy talk. The bottom line is religion means I need something from God. Right? That's what it means. And if I behave myself a certain way, He'll give me all the things I need, either in this world or after I die. Usually after I die. So all religion is trying to gain something from God. A blessing, pleasure, reward. Judaism is the exact opposite. What happened at Mount Sinai, when God took us out of Egypt and brought us to Mount Sinai, He didn't tell us how to get to heaven. In fact, heaven isn't even mentioned in the Torah, except at the beginning. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth, and then the rest of the Torah is about earth. Heaven is not mentioned again. So we're not trying to get to heaven. In fact, we don't want to get to heaven because you got to die to get there. Not a good deal. What we want is to bring God down to earth. That's what happened at Mount Sinai. God came down to the mountain to tell us what He needs, not what we need. And that's why the sages very correctly and wisely said, do not serve God for the sake of a reward. Serve Him without a reward. Why would you serve someone without a reward? Why would you do it? Because knowing that He needs it is enough reason. So if He needs something from me, that is much greater compliment. It's a much greater mission. It makes me much more significant than if I think about how desperately I need Him to keep me alive, and I need Him to give me His blessings, and I need Him to protect me. It makes me feel like a parasite. Give me this, give me that, I need that. It doesn't feel right. And then if I get everything I need, and I make it through life without too much pain, what was the point? What's the point of life? To try to avoid as much pain as possible? That doesn't make sense. But if we're here out of His need, if there's something we need to do for Him, that makes my needs less important, less demanding. I can relax. I'm not so stressed. I'm certainly not depressed. Because my needs, who needs them? We have a bunch of needs, and who needs them? I need to eat, I need to drink, I need, like a hole in the head. A bunch of needs that I didn't ask for. And most of the time, I really don't need it. I need to stop eating. I need to stop worrying. So it's really important. Judaism is not a religion. We're not desperate asking God to do this for us or to do that for us or to guarantee us a good seat in heaven when we die. That's childish. God created the world before we existed. Obviously, He did it because He needs something. But usually we're told that God is so perfect, He can't possibly need anything. And then we have no explanation for why He created the world. If He's so perfect and He needs nothing, what's He doing? Obviously, if He created the world, it's because He wants something. And He gathered us at Mount Sinai to tell us what it is that he wants. I mean, he's not going to keep it a secret. And then he made it our responsibility as Jews to teach the rest of the world why he created the world and what he needs from it. So that eventually we can all serve God together. If we stop being religious. If we stop trying to be religious and stop practicing religions, there would be peace in the world. But when people have their own religions and they don't agree, that's a problem that's going to explode someday and it's going to lead to war. So here's the message. The message is, when you put on tefillin, when boys put on tefillin, and you think, I don't need this. Why am I doing this? I don't need this. You're right. You don't need this. You're doing it because he needs it. And when you get into the habit of doing things you don't need, but someone else needs from you, you're becoming a real mensch. That's having a purpose in life. You're here to serve, not to be served. So you can imagine how Jews in Israel were practicing Judaism, and then some people came along and said, you know how you have to keep 613 commandments to get to heaven? Well, no longer. I can get you to heaven for free. And people said, yeah, hey, that's a good deal. From 613 to free? That's better than wholesale. For free. See, the problem is there was a false assumption, a false premise. Who said that we were keeping 613 mitzvahs just to get to heaven? That was never true. So if you look at it correctly, there are 613 things that God needs from us. Now somebody comes along and says, I have good news. He doesn't need it anymore. That's not good news. We were necessary and now we're not necessary. That's not good news. This is something that we lived by for 3,000 years, and it's something we have to share with the world. Stop being religious and fulfill the purpose for which you were created. And you were not created to have your needs met. That doesn't make any sense. God creates us, makes us hungry, and then gives us food. And we can't get over. Wow, thank you so much. I was so hungry. Well, you created me hungry. And then you feed me, and what's the point? Don't create me, I won't be hungry, you don't have to feed me. And I'll never complain if you don't create me. So why are we here? To serve him, to do something divine, to be more than just a human being who needs to eat and sleep and drink. Doesn't that sound a little more noble? A little elevating?
But surely we're not the only tradition that serves, that believes that service is the highest form of being.
I hope not. But too much of humanity has become hung up on being served. How you will get the most out of life, how you can be the most you can be, how you can be the best.